Central banks did something in 2022 that they haven't done since 1967. Now, 1967 might sound like a random year to you, but do you remember what happened just 4 years following 1967? The year 1971 happened. And do you remember what happened in 1971? That's right, the United States closed the gold window and took the entire world off the gold standard. Now, was this something that the world did not expect at all that came out of the blue? Well, chances are no. Chances are the world was starting to suspect that there were more dollars floating around than there was gold to back it up. And that's why they started stockpiling so much gold prior to the closing of the gold window. And it's also exactly why there was a bank run on America where they kept on sending all the dollars back to America to get their gold because they suspected there wasn't enough gold in the first place. But in 2022, for various reasons, central banks purchased more gold than they had in recent history since 1967. Now, there are obviously many reasons why central banks around the world are continuing to stockpile more and more gold increasingly lately. One of these is going to be from countries like Russia that have doubled the amount of gold they're holding in their sovereign wealth funds because due to sanctions, they cannot access dollars. And so they want to hold on to forms of money that they have more control over and that they can use without another country telling them they can't. And because of the sanctions on Russia, there are other countries now saying that they would like alternatives to the US dollar, specifically because of the weaponization of the dollar. Other reasons include unstable currencies and nations realizing they need harder money because people aren't trusting their own currency anymore. So countries like Ghana are planning to now buy oil with gold instead of currencies like the US dollar in order to help out with their local inflation. As a result of all these bullish factors, there are many analysts that are now predicting a much higher price for gold in the coming years. Saxo Bank predicts that gold will hit $3,000 by the end of 2023. Bank of America says that the price of gold could easily exceed $2,000 an ounce, given that gold has the most to gain of all precious metals from a Fed pivot. And Zoltan Posar, who is credited with mapping the shadow banking system, he's an ex-Fed insider, predicts that gold could easily go to $3,600 if Russia starts accepting gold for oil. And if we map out the price action of gold and when it actually has major bull runs, it happens during times of easy monetary policy before the inflation ever hits. Because by the time the inflation starts to hit, the market's already pricing in tight monetary policy. And now that the market is starting to factor in the end of QT and the Fed stopping raising rates someday, now the price of gold has started to go back up again. And so for all you gold bugs out there who have been stacking gold for years and just getting beaten down and just wondering when the pain will ever end, it looks like that may be sooner than many people expect. But keep in mind, gold is for preserving your purchasing power. You're not going to make a ton of purchasing power or lose a ton of purchasing power with gold. Over time, it preserves its purchasing power. If you want to increase your purchasing power, aka make money on the price of gold going up, you're going to have to do something other than just owning gold. So I'd like to share with you a few things about a company that I own, one of my core holdings. It's a gold mining company called Gold Mining Inc. that I've talked to you guys about before. They've sponsored today's video as well. Few changes recently that I think brighten the future for this company even more than since the last time I talked to you about it. Basically, the business plan that this company has is back in about 2011, 2012, they went around buying gold mining properties because this was when the bubble had already popped and they wanted to buy things for pennies on the dollar. This would be like going around in probably 2010, 2011, 2012, buying up homes across the nation that hey, there's intrinsic value here, but because everybody's selling, prices are super low, I'm going to buy them at these pennies on the dollar. I'm just going to wait for them to come back. That's been their exact game plan with these properties. And now that the market has started to shift, they're taking these properties one by one, getting them ready to sell and unlocking all this value by selling them one by one for way more than what they bought them for. The first of these was a spinoff. They did an IPO of Gold Royalty Company, symbol GROY. It's a royalty company that now, not only did they get a cash infusion from selling it, but they also have cash flow now, income from the dividends from Gold Royalty Company, which is the fastest growing gold royalty company. They're now planning to do the exact same thing with their Whistler property to spin off a company called US Gold Mining. Now, if we take a look at some numbers, we know that Gold Mining Inc. currently has a market cap of around $180 million. And so based on that market cap, we can see what the market is valuing all of its different assets, its projects, and its ounces of gold that it has in the ground. Given the fact that it has 32 million ounces of gold in the ground, this means the market is pricing Gold Mining Inc.'s gold at about $4 per ounce. Now, obviously this gold is still in the ground, so you're not going to see gold in the ground ever worth $1,800 an ounce, because that's what it's worth when you can actually buy it. But gold in the ground for a mining company, the industry standard is about $30 per ounce, which means that the amount of assets that Gold Mining Inc. holds and owns is most likely severely undervalued by the market, especially considering one of their recent partial exits, how they optioned off their Almaden project to NevGold, which they received $16 million for. And that's just for the option to buy the property. That's not buying the property itself. Because of this, there are recent price targets by analysts at above $5, and this one specifically at over $6 per share. Keep in mind the price of GLDG right now is a little over $1 per share. And the reason it's so important that I think we're about to enter into a huge bull market with gold is because what this company has done during the last 2 bull markets with gold. Take a look at this chart with me, and you can see on the left-hand side the time period between December of 2015 and June of 2016. The price of gold is the black line at the bottom that rose 31% from that time. GDXJ is the gray line, and you can see that clearly had a huge return over gold at 160%. But Gold Mining Inc., GLDG in America, had a 525% increase over that same time. If we look from the time period on the right-hand side, the right-hand chart from May 2019 through August of 2020, we see very similar numbers here. Gold was up 58%, while GDXJ, the Junior Gold Mining Index, was up 112%, yet Gold Mining Inc., GLDG, was up 400% over the same time. Now, all of that together builds a huge bullish case for this company, GLDG, Gold Mining Inc. Now, it's not advice, not a recommendation. Do your own research, make your own decisions. I don't know you. I don't know what you should do with your own money. But there is one more cherry on top, which is its uranium property. You all know how much of a fan I am of nuclear energy technology. It's the cleanest, the greenest, it's the most energy dense, and best chance we have of achieving massive energy independence and energy gains going forward into the future. The people in the United States are very quickly waking up to this fact, and we are starting to see big money move from government in support of uranium, domestic uranium production, and nuclear energy. And Gold Mining Inc. actually owns a uranium property, Ria Urania, in Saskatchewan, Canada, which is in the Western Athabasca Basin. This is considered the Saudi Arabia of uranium. Considering that most uranium right now comes out of Russia and the countries surrounding Russia, there's going to be a huge push in the coming years to get uranium sourced from places other than Russia. So for all of you gold bugs out there who have been stacking gold for years, I think the time is coming very soon when you'll be rewarded for your patience and your consistency. And if I'm right about this as well, that means that anybody who invests in companies like Gold Mining Inc. will be rewarded handsomely also. I could absolutely be wrong, so this is not advice, but those are the reasons why I own this company as well. As always, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.